this is Rick Cassells from exercisesforinjuries.com. Today I have another interview for you, and it's with Diane Keulian, and we're going to talk about how to hack recipes so that they're healthy and yummy. So Diane, I'll get you to introduce yourself.
Hi, this is Diana, and they call me the recipe hacker. I got that nickname because I started making recipes and taking out the grains, the gluten, the dairy, the soy, and the cane sugar, and still making them taste delicious.
Oh, okay. So why the cane sugar? Why do you remove the cane sugar from
Oh, we're gonna start on sugar, Rick.
it?
Sugar.
Well, I mean, you didn't say sugar. You said cane sugar. Are they the same thing?
Okay, I mean any sugar coming from a sugar cane because
Okay.
we have coconut palm sugar, which I do use in some of my recipes because that is, that's more of a wholesome. It's not processed and it's not bleached and white. So it's actually going to give you some vitamins and some minerals as well as the calories and a more mild sweetness that's not going to affect your blood sugar the way cane sugar does. So I wanted to
Okay.
differentiate between all sugars because raw honey could be called sugar as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm no sugar cane.
No sugar cane. Okay. Okay. And that ends up leading into my first question. So then we kind of talked about the sugar thing and specifically saying like sugar cane. What's the big deal about like pulling out grains and dairy and soy and gluten, from your recipes? Like, what's the
Sure.
big deal?
Well, these five ingredients are really the ingredients that they've added to processed foods that really cause us to gain weight. Not only that, but it takes us away from real foods. So when you're eating these items that have the grains in it and has the soy, you're not eating vegetables, you're not eating fruit and lean meats. So it's kind of a twofold thing. It makes you more susceptible to weight gain when you eat it, and also when you're eating it, you're not eating the good stuff.
Okay. And so eating healthy is very much like working out. It just sounds like a lot of work. So what are some ways that people can like make it easy and simple?
Well, the biggest thing that I always tell people first is to get all the junk food out of your house. Get all those processed, frozen dinners and just the packaged foods. And if you first step is to get it out of your life, get it out of your surroundings, and only give yourself the option of real foods. That's like the easiest way to get yourself to eat healthier.
Okay. And then what's the next step? So then okay, you've eliminated all the processed foods and the snacks. What's the next step?
So, as far as like cooking healthy foods or meals for your family every week, it really comes down to planning. So, what you're going to do is on the weekends, you make your menu for the week. And it might just be dinners and just a little bit of organization, knowing what you're going to make. And then when you go to the store, you can go to the store once a week, get everything you need for those recipes, and then you have it on hand and you're ready to go. So really just having a little bit of organization takes away so much of the hassle of eating healthy and cooking healthy.
Okay, so then like Sunday you kind of like meal plan for the week.
Absolutely. Get out my calendar, I get out my recipes, I write my grocery list, and actually I'm in the process of building a software program to make it a lot easier to do your menu planning and your grocery lists because it can be time consuming, but when you're doing the bulk of the work for the week on that one afternoon.
Okay. Okay, and then so then what are and this is a personal question. What are
Okay.
some ideas for like snacks that I can give my kids? So I'm responsible for like packing their lunches and I do my
Oh,
best to make them
okay.
healthy as I can. But
Yeah.
some of those processed bars get put in there and
Right.
other things. So what are some
Yes.
ideas that I can do to like make something that they'll enjoy eating
Sure.
as a
Well,
snack, the snacky things?
yes. Two things that I do with my kids is I have an easy meatball recipe that you bake the meatballs and I'll do it like on Sunday and then just two or three of those in a baggie for snack time. And then also my caveman cookies, which it's cookies that's made with almond flour, and there's some dark chocolate, some eggs, and coconut oil. So it's a sweet, nice cookie, but it's also like it's all ingredients that are going to fuel them for their day and not give them like this sugar crash. So those are my
Oh.
two that my kids really like, are the meatballs and the cookies.
Oh, okay. Okay. I know my one son will like the meatballs, but I think both of them will definitely like the cookies. I
Yeah.
think I can make the caveman cookies.
And
They-
there's muffin recipes in my book, and I have like a breakfast cookie, which is really a clever way to get, all these nutritious ingredients, and you're giving your kid a cookie.
yeah,
So
yeah.
there's you gotta look through the book.
I don't think I got all that way. I saw that there was. I like the eggplant. I like the eggplant breakfast or the fried green tomato breakfast sandwich.
Yes.
That looked yummy.
I had so much fun making that one.
I was like, oh, I gotta try that this week. Okay, and then so we talked about the meal planning and usually do that Sunday. So how do you find I know your husband, I've met your kids, and I know you guys live a busy life. Like how do you find the time to, do all this cooking healthy, not just dinner but like all your snacks and breakfasts and everything?
You know what? It's just making it a priority because we all do lead busy lives. But you mentioned exercise. Those of us who are in fitness, we all find time to exercise nearly every day. It's just how we prioritize our life. And for me, the cooking healthy and feeding my kids right is so important to me. It like ranks up there with me for, one of the most important things that I do.
Okay. And I might know the answer to this, but if there's like one thing, if there's like one thing that people could do or an individual can do in their life when it comes to like what they're eating and stuff, what is that one thing that they can do in order to have the greatest impact on their health, in your opinion?
Okay, in my opinion, and this is also the easiest thing you can do, is to stop eating sugar. Back to the cane sugar. I mean, there's this statistic out there that in the last 200 years, or 200 years ago, we ate about 6 pounds of sugar a year, and now we eat well over 100 pounds of sugar a year. And that one single thing is just taking out that processed sugar out of your diet. It will make the biggest impact, and it's going to be easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I almost look at it like, and I completely agree with you. And I used to be a pop addict, as we say in Canada, but a
Yeah.
soda addict in the US. I would drink like 2 liters of Coke a day
Yeah.
and really loved it. And then I thought, oh, I'll just transition over to Diet Coke. Well, it's not much better because the artificial sweetener just stimulates, the senses, so you end up consuming more. And, some of the documentaries, if you watch on sugar, it's like cocaine.
It is, it's addictive.
It's
Right.
totally.
And it's in everything now.
Yeah.
It's in all these processed foods. So even if you're avoiding sugar, you're still eating some sugar. You can't avoid it.
Yeah, and I also say that like with soy, it's one of those things when you look at joint pain or pain, it's one of the top things that people are allergic to or will create inflammation within the body. But it's one of those things that's a filler in like everything. So if you have severe or minor sensitivity to soy, pretty much everything you eat processed,
Yeah.
there is soy within it.
Yeah, and
So
that's a good point. Those 5 things that I take out of the recipes, a lot of people do have sensitivities to them, and maybe they don't even realize it.